It's so delicious I had to get a second piece. Today I have to master my track, but this morning starts off really tired. I had maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep. I'm even wearing my flower shirt to get in a better mood. Now I will substitute all the sleep that I've missed with a whole lot of coffee and sugar. I hate writing emails. That's the main reason why I try to answer them before heading to the studio. They just distract me a whole lot, and that's my trap.
My favorite time, when all fit together.
I just got 4 new emails on my phone, but I won't answer them until tomorrow. I'm sorry. It's time to make music. I've already prepared my track for mastering this morning before going to bed. I'm not really a mastering engineer, but I found a way to make a mastering that sounds pretty close to a mastering with outboard gear. So let's open up Logic, import the pre-mastered file, and try to get the most out of it. First of all, I'm looping the part where the most stuff is going on. Then I at least listen 5 times to the part, trying to figure out what the problems are and how I can fix them. First up, I'm using Logic's EQ just to cut away the very low frequencies and the very high frequencies. Getting rid of these extreme frequencies gives you more room for the other elements, and you can make the track a little bit louder. This track needs a little bit more in the high frequencies, just maybe 1.5 dB above 3400 Hertz, and a very tiny bit in the low frequencies, just 0.5 dBs. I listen to the track a lot. I bypass the EQ, listen to it with it and without it, and make sure that the track really benefits from my changes. The next plugin that I'm using is the SSL compressor from Waves. You can use any other compressor to get a similar sound, and I have my own master preset that I'm using all the time. Don't overdo the compression on your mastering chain. It will ruin more than it will help, especially if you're doing electronic dance music where already most of the samples got compressed a whole lot. So adding even way more compression doesn't really help. Yeah, as you can see, only 2.5 dB of gain reduction. That's really enough. That's all what this track needs. Next up, the stereo tools from remixes. I just set this to 300 Hertz and the width to maybe 140. This plugin just widens the entire mix a little bit. Don't overdo this as well. You get a lot of phase cancellation if you turn it up to more than 140. I even think on this track I will have to turn it down to maybe 130. Should be enough. You can also use plugins from Brainworks. They do the same thing. They keep under a certain value everything mono, and above that they make it white. The last 2 plugins that I'm using is a limiter just to get the loudness and make sure that the track is not clipping, and the analyzer is just there to let me know how loud the track is. The RMS value here in the bottom just shows me the average loudness, and minus 10 to minus 8.5 dB RMS is really enough. Minus 10 dB RMS is really nice. It keeps a lot of dynamic, especially for club music. The more dynamic you have, the nicer it will sound in the club. You still have the possibility to make the track louder with your gain knob on the mixer. With pop music and radio stuff, you could get away with maybe 8.5 dB of RMS. Don't go above that, it will just destroy the sound and not help the track in any way. And at least here in Germany, the TV stations and radio stations agreed on a maximum loudness, so it won't do any difference. And I think also Spotify has a set maximum value, so even if you make your track louder, they will pull it down and make it equal with all other tracks. I'm going down with the threshold, reset the analyzer, and now I have a value of minus 10.4. I will go down a little bit more. Yes, now the RMS is around 9, and that's fine for me. That's already all I'm doing for this track. Sometimes I use multi-band compression and mid and side EQing if it's necessary, but I've mixed this track myself. If I find any mistakes, I will just go back to the project and adjust it there. I would always advise you to get everything done in the mix, The mastering engineer is actually really limited. He just gets this one file. There is not a whole lot he can do to it to make it better. There are one or two more things that I can tell you about mastering, but my computer is overheated and making again this loud noise. I think I found a solution for it. I hope this is not a big mistake. And while my computer is cooling off, it's time to get a refreshment for myself. Gin tonic and beer with Gordon.
Cheers.
Cheers. Quick refreshment for myself. Now let's see how my computer is doing. It looks alright, I think. Yes. I didn't have anything to eat today and there was some chocolate cake left in the fridge, so why not?
My favorite feeling. My body belongs no more to me.
Okay, my computer's striking again. It's time to leave. It's now 7. I've done a lot on new tracks and had to take a couple of phone calls, emails unfortunately. I was thinking, instead of talking more about mastering, to just give you the opportunity to listen to 3 files that I will upload to my SoundCloud page. The link will be down below in the description. 1 file from 2 days ago before the mixing, 1 file from yesterday after the mixing, and 1 file from today after the mastering. You can compare for yourself what these steps do to a track. And honestly, I think they're not doing a whole lot. As I said yesterday, all of the mixing is done before the mixing, at least for me. Taking the tram was a big mistake. It was extremely warm in there. Now, next up, grocery shopping. I think the Coke will help. So good. Strange, nobody home. Guck mal, was ich hab.
Super, Diätessen. Ich weiß nicht, welchen Level ich bin.
Ready. 10.
Willst du mal gucken, welche Pokémons ich habe?
Vanessa?
Ja.
I think you have a slight Pokemon addiction. Okay guys, what do you think? Does Vanessa have a Pokemon addiction problem? I think so. More Sperrmüll.